What sporting events do you need to check out each week? I write a newsletter that explains just that, but who reads? So let's talk about it instead. All right, women's college basketball action Thursday, February 19th. Number 11 Oklahoma Sooners at the number 24 Georgia Bulldogs, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the SEC Network. If you don't know the name Danny Carnegie, now is the time to get familiar. She just dropped 29 points in Georgia's upset win against then number 5 Vandy. The Georgia Tech transfer is averaging 20 points a game in SEC play. Oklahoma likes to get up and down, so it could be another big game for her. Also, Georgia is having a really good season. Just mentioned that Vandy upset. I want to see how they respond to that. Everyone likes to see how teams respond to losses. I also like to see how teams respond to big wins. Is there going to be a letdown, or can they maintain that level of play? Then at 9 o'clock on ESPNU, some men's college basketball. Idaho Vandals at the Portland State Vikings. Getting close to conference tournament time, Portland State sits atop the Big Sky standings. But there are a couple teams hot on their tail, so a win here would be nice. You also get to check out one of the best mid-major duos in the country in Terry Miller Jr. and Jalen Henderson. All right, Friday, February 20th, unrivaled basketball. Phantoms Laces, 7:30 p.m. on TNT. A matchup between the first two teams to clinch playoff spots, but more importantly, for fans of shoulders and elbows, a matchup between Alyssa Thomas and Aaliyah Boston. Good luck to the Sephora referees. Going to be some high-level hoops as well. Then, 10 o'clock, ESPN, NBA action, Los Angeles Clippers at the Los Angeles Lakers. Clippers have really turned their season around, maybe not so coincidentally after getting rid of Chris Paul. And Kawhi Leonard has been hooping. Career high in points per game, also been healthy enough to play in about 75% of their games, which is a miracle at this point in his career. Nothing like a little fake marketing deal controversy to get you back on track. The load gets a little bit heavier on him, moving James Harden and Ivica Zubac, but I'm interested to see how those new pieces fit in. And what better test than your crosstown rivals with LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. Saturday, February 21st, men's basketball action. Number 12 Florida Gators at the Ole Miss Rebels, 12 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Tough start for the defending champs this year. Started 5-4, but they've won 14 of their last 16 games. They are the second leading rebounding team in the nation. 4 players averaging at least 6 boards a game. They are undefeated when they hit the 40 rebound mark as a team. Ole Miss, their leading rebounder, averages 6 rebounds a game. Good luck. More men's hoops action after that. Number 4 Arizona Wildcats at the number 2 Houston Cougars, 3 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC. Big 12 hoops is crazy. Arizona won 23 straight before losing back-to-back heartbreakers, but they got back on track with a win over BYU. The Cougars are looking to get back on track themselves after losing a heartbreaker to Iowa State. The winner here will sit in the Big 12 driver's seat for at least a couple of minutes. More men's college basketball action. Number 1 Michigan Wolverines against number 3 Duke Blue Devils, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. According to ESPN research, this will be just the 5th time in the history of the AP that we get 2 top 4 matchups on the same day in men's college basketball. Coincidentally, the first time this happened, we also got Duke taking on a number 1 Michigan team. That was December 5th, 1992. Thomas Hill and Bobby Hurley led the Blue Devils over the Fab Five in a rematch of the previous year's national title game. Now, the Wolverines did recover from that loss to make it to the national championship game again, but then Chris Webber. But anyways, enjoy your February Final Four. Then wrapping things up Saturday night with some NBA action. Houston Rockets at the New York Knicks, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC. Kevin Durant playing in New York City less than a week after allegedly being caught using burner accounts again to trash his current teammates. What more could you want? Sunday, February 22nd, women's college basketball. ESPN College Game Day will be in Columbia to see the number 17 Ole Miss Rebels take on number 3 South Carolina Gamecocks, 12 noon Eastern Time on ESPN. Coach Yo has Ole Miss in the middle of their longest 20-win season streak since Van Chancellor left to coach the Houston Comets. But have their offensive struggles that have kept them out of the upper echelon of the SEC been solved? Well, they're averaging a Coach Yo best 77.5 points per game this season, thanks in large part to Cody McMahon. The Ohio State transfer just dropped 39 on Tennessee's head. This will be the true test, though. A Coach Yo-led Rebel team has yet to score 60 points against South Carolina. Is today the day? More women's college basketball hoops as number 18 Michigan State takes on number 23 Minnesota at 6 p.m. on FS1. Michigan State reached their highest ranking this season in 15 years, but they have kind of lost that magic. They dropped 4 of 5 games before a win over Northwestern. They're going to need all the confidence they can get as they hit the road to take on the Golden Gophers, who have been as hot as Michigan State has been cold. They're coming off a win over number 10 Ohio State. Interesting stat, Michigan State has lost just once this season, when Grace Van Sluten has made at least half of her shot attempts. Monday, February 23rd, back on unrivaled basketball, Lunar Owls versus the Vinyl at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. It's still mathematically possible for both of these teams to make the postseason, but they can't drop any more games, and we have to watch them because Skylar Diggins said so. Then, more men's hoops. I don't like to repeat matchups in the same newsletter, but number 2 Houston takes on number 8 Kansas, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. I mean, the Big 12 men have just been incredible this year. The storyline in this one is, will Darren Peterson play more than 20 minutes? Tuesday, February 24th. Men's college basketball, the NC State Wolfpack hit the road to take on number 14, Virginia, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ACC Network. Look, I've been avoiding Virginia ever since former coach Tony Bennett decided to use them as a vessel to set offensive basketball back 50 years. But first-year head coach Ryan Odom has brought them into the 21st century. I had to check this several places because I didn't believe it, but they're averaging almost 82 points a game. They haven't done that since Pete Gillen was coach. Shout out to Travis Watson, Donald Hand, and Roger Mason. So yeah, tap in and see for yourself. Then more men's college hoops action as Southern Cal takes on UCLA at 11 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. Yes, crosstown rivalry, but I'm mostly tuning in to boo Mick Cronin, who stinks. And you should too. Finishing up our newsletter week, Wednesday, February 25th, NBA action, Oklahoma City Thunder at the Detroit Pistons, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. These have been far and away the best teams in the league this year, a potential finals matchup. We know Oklahoma City has what it takes to win it all because they just did it, but I need to know what the Pistons are made of. Last year was the first taste of postseason play for all of their important pieces pretty much. That kind of showed as they lost in 6 games to the Knicks. We won't know how much that helped them grow until this year's postseason, but this is going to be a good test in the meantime. If you want all this information and more without having to hear my voice, go ahead and just subscribe to the newsletter. Head over to theshownotes.beehive.com and you're going to get this first thing every Thursday morning. You're welcome. Also, it's free, so you have nothing to lose.